What's the cherry versus the mustard doing? Is it all right?
No, it's looking good. Yeah, there's a beautiful contrast going.
Sexy.
There.
Yeah. You weren't interested?
No, I didn't care at all.
Mm-hmm.
Literally didn't care. With us today is I don't know what you call him now. He used to be a winemaker. I think he's now the cellarmaster, grape picker. I'm not even sure what he's called. We'll ask him that now. From Môreson, Clayton Reabow. Clayton, what do I call you now?
James, how's it? Whatever, eh? Winemaker, cellarmaster, provocateur, wine taster, whatever. You know?
It's pretty much spot on. I wanted to talk a bit about Miss Molly because that's a brand that you're in charge of there at Morrison, and it seems to me like it's become ubiquitous for sort of when you're talking about bubbles. How has the sort of Miss Molly success story happened?
So yeah, I mean, thanks for bringing it up. So
you asked me to.
Yes, I did. Email, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
So I started at Morrison in 2007, and we had started I had taken over the Morrison portfolio. And at that point, we had a couple of other wines in the mix, and they just never went anywhere, a couple of other brands. And we started Miss Molly in 2009, not knowing where it could go to or how it could grow. And one of the things about Morrison is that we're very kind of below the radar kind of farm. Like, you know, we don't shout out as much as what we should. But Miss Molly has kind of grown organically in the local market without us actually giving it much attention back then. And we realized a couple of years ago that like we've got this brand that we actually should be giving like a lot of love and a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And as soon as we started doing that, everything just shifted for us. So, you know, it allowed us to kind of keep on producing premium Morrison wines. And not to say that Miss Molly's not premium, but we kind of class it obviously as our, you know, it's our volume driver.
Yeah.
But in saying that, it's still something that we put all our, you know, blood, sweat and tears, heart and soul into. But it's been incredible. And I think the biggest driver for us was, you know, making sure that South Africans get, and I say South Africans because it's a domestic brand, but South Africans get products on their table that they can afford. Yeah. You know, and I think people personally are over drinking, or wanting to drink or having to buy 250 to 300 rand bottles of bubbly, you know.
I'm poor,
Yeah, you are.
Look, I think that the reason it's been so successful is that 35% of all sparkling wine drinkers in the country have an animal named Molly.
Or a daughter.
Yeah, or a daughter. And so, you know, there's always a reason to buy Miss Molly, right? Because,
True.
Or you got a friend who has someone who knows someone called Molly or whatever. Funnily enough, last thing about Miss Molly, we did a blind tasting not long ago, actually, between Miss Molly and another, you know, sparkling wine. And I've actually got the winner under here.
It's Miss Molly, isn't it?
Well, it's
Miss Molly. Okay, so it's not the Miss Molly.
No, Krug.
So Krug, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
apparently this is better, huh?
I mean, you could have put it in a similar kind of bracket, but I mean, I can understand that. I mean, you went straight for the top.
Yeah, we went for the top.
So from a rating perspective, what was it? I mean, what was the Krug versus the Miss Molly?
No, it was unanimous. Hey, it wasn't even close.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So one was just quite here, the other one was over here.
Yeah. No, Miss Molly was very good.
Cool. Confidence is up.
I wanted you to ask you, because Morrison seems pretty much all about Franschhoek. Is that kind of a driver for you? Are you like focused on Franschhoek terroir? Is that your vibe?
Huge. Yeah. No, it's huge. Like myself personally, I mean, not just the brand and the farm, but me personally, like it's huge. I mean, I conceived my children in Franschhoek. So yeah, no, I've had this like love affair with Franschhoek since I arrived. It's so easy to want to source grapes from outlying areas and to look for the best pockets of this, whereas we've kind of spent our time kind of going the other way and looking intrinsically to see what we can discover where we live. So Franschhoek is a big one for me. Like I mean, the Miss Molly bubbly, believe it or not, is 100% wine of origin Franschhoek. So I know you say we left it. I've just come back. Sorry. Yes. The Krug thing is kind of...
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I believe you've got your own personal projects. Well, you've probably got a few things on the go. but something with Craig Mcnaught from Stony Brook. What's that all about?
Yeah. So, geez, man. So Craig and I have been bromancing for about 10 years.
Yeah.
Obviously, just
on the side.
Just like a kind of, And we've always wanted to discover more of Franschhoek and
more about each other.
More about each other, like 80%, and then wine 20%.
Yeah.
And we've had this concept in mind for the last couple of years that we weren't sure how to kind of put on paper and put it into wine.
Yeah.
So we wanted to kind of produce a brand that departed 100% from what Franschhoek has been doing in terms of this particular style or styles that they want to do.
Yeah.
And we've created something what we think is kind of off the wall, very left field, but still has this, emphasis on Franschhoek, So, and what we believe is that we want to sub-region Franschhoek. Although it's a very small wine region, we still believe that it's significant enough to actually have pockets in Franschhoek where we know that great grapes come from, like great Semillon comes from Bo-Hoek, And I think if we want to talk Bo-Hoek, this is where Lokaia is grown. This is where Kloof is. This is where Hartespoir is. This is where Landau de Waal is. So that's kind of the pedigree of what we're talking about. Yeah. So we've created a 3 wine brand where we've emphasized on Franschhoek Sem, Franschhoek Chardonnay, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, goes without saying. And Franschhoek Cabernet Franc. So we've got forgot the name.
You forgot the name of the brand.
Just been a month there. Pound of Flesh.
Yeah.
So the Pound of Flesh is the Semillon, the Chard. So that's the Sandman.
Very cool. Sandman, Chardonnay, beautiful labels.
Yeah.
Great.
And then one more.
Yeah.
You got time for this?
Yeah.
And that's the Cab Franc, Call of the Void.
Wow, that's also very nice. Cool. Well,
I'll send you the invoice.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You can.
You can send me the email address as well, please.
Yeah, I'll pay that invoice. Oh yeah. No, very much looking forward to trying those. Thank you, Clayton.
Cool.
And listen, before we go, you have, I believe, a gift for us.
Yeah. Cool. So Beast.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't know if anyone knows that that was your nickname. I don't know if you are formally known as Beast or you are Beast.
Now I am.
Okay, so I've given you a bottle of Stony Brook Semillon.
Wow.
2008. So why I brought it is that, again, I'll go back to the whole bromance thing. So Craig and I first met at a wine tasting that his father hosted at his house like 11 years ago. And it was like one of the best tastings I've been to in my life. It was also by chance. We tasted only like first growth Bordeaux's, like current vintage and like 10, 15 years on. We drank 13 bottles of wine that night. And obviously it was a kind of a blur, but this was the only wine that I could actually remember from the evening. And it was an incredible, incredible Semillon, like a Franschhoek Sem. And why I wanted to bring it is because I think our story, like whether it's you, myself, or Craig, it's kind of come full circle because the Pound of Flesh is made from the same vineyard now.
Yeah,
so
cool.
It's a very kind of close the loop, full circle story, and the wine's incredible. And like back then when I tasted it, Craig was like, he brought it out and he was like, this is like one of 4 bottles left. And like, I know we don't know each other, but like I'm going to open it. And I was like, oh God, like give it to me. I need to taste it.
Yeah.
And since knowing him, I think I've drunk about 6 of these bottles of wine. And I asked him, I was there on Saturday night and I said to him, look, I need one of those wines. Like, do you only have 3 left? He's like, I think I can squeeze one out for you. Like, I was like, okay, that's a bit weird. But he said, I think I can find one. And he came out of it. And I was like, geez, is there a never-ending supply of this? Or are we just good mates? But yeah, man, it's a cool wine. So I want you to enjoy it, man.
Ah, brilliant. Well, listen, I can promise you're not going to get any of it.
Cool.
I can't promise you that. Clayton, thank you. That's
pleasure, man.
That's a wonderful story. And I'm all about the stories.
Cool.
Dude, thank you for joining us. It's been a real pleasure. Representing Semillon, representing Lokaia,
that's it.
Representing Franschhoek, representing Morrison, and in your capacity as whatever the hell you are at the moment.
Cheers, man. I appreciate that.
Cheers.
Shouldn't you have it in?